Even though I know it won't be easy, I try to put myself in their shoes. I couldn't have managed this if I had been your age. Your initiative to do this is truly commendable. Alright, let's not get off topic. One alternative to traditional medical care is the concept of hospice. In 1998, he departed from Hollywood and never returned. His portrayals of Simba in Disney's The Lion King and Randy on the hit TV show Home Improvement won over audiences. Why? While shooting, he suffered from excruciating headaches, panic attacks due to his fame, and an overwhelming amount of personal issues. As the middle child, who was unusually bright for his age, Randy, he starred in the popular TV show Home Improvement. Now you can see him in Wild America, a brand new film. Jonathan Taylor here, 25 years later. The best teen star in America finally gave us the reason she ran away. The 8th of September 1981 was the birthplace of Jonathan Taylor Thomas in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Our man Jonathan Taylor Weiss goes by that name. Their son would go on to become one of the most famous teenagers of the 90s, something neither Stephen Weiss nor Claudine Gonzalez could have predicted. When he started playing, he decided to change his name. His middle and first names remained the same, but he added his brother's given name, Thomas. It embodied both his professional and personal selves. It was more than just a stage name. It was a boon to his family life and his career in Hollywood. Many things changed during his formative years. At the age of 4, he and his family uprooted their lives and headed west to Sacramento from Pennsylvania. After relocating for a while, they ended up in Los Angeles. The closer he got to the entertainment industry with each stride, because he moved around a lot as a kid, being adaptable might have served him well in the long run. The majority of children his age wouldn't even consider doing what he did. Beef and dairy were no longer part of his diet. He was not one to follow the crowd or fads. He did it because he cared about animal rights. That idea became more solid as time went on. Even when Hollywood pushed him to compromise his principles, he refused to use any products that had been tested on animals. Perhaps his mother enlightened him to the existence of societal issues. In addition to taking him to work events, she helped those without much. Unlike other children his age, he had extraordinary vision, being accountable, appreciative, and capable of making meaningful decisions were all lessons he picked up. For him, being a vegetarian was about more than simply eating right. It was about acting in accordance with his values. His stance on animal liberation was a point of contention in the 90s. Thomas broke the mold by discussing topics like ethical shopping, which is unusual for young celebrities. For him it was the ultimate guide, much more than just his performance. Fans adored him. In addition, they were pleased with his decisions. Things mattered to him, and he wasn't merely a teenage hero. Again, in 1991, his life took a turn. Eventually, his parents divorced. At the age of 10, he uprooted his life and headed west to California with his mom and older brother. Although it was a challenging adjustment, it opened doors to new opportunities. Despite the difficulties of his divorce, he was able to persevere thanks to his work and his life in Hollywood. Numerous individuals assisted Thomas. Both his mother and Uncle Jeff Weiss played significant roles in his upbringing. The former took care of his career, and the latter kept him grounded. Jeff was a playwright and actor. He served as an educator in addition to being a member of the family. He demonstrated to Thomas that acting entailed more than merely reciting lines. He taught his students the art of storytelling and the technique that went into film and television acting. Unlike many young artists, Thomas came from a family with experience in the industry, so he had someone who could show him the ropes and help him succeed. Thomas may have given his roles more nuanced performances than other children his age due to the influence of his uncle. Even in comedic situations, his performance brought the characters to life. He brought more to the show than just acting. Jonathan Taylor Thomas started out at a young age. Sacramento, California was already casting him for print ads when he was just 7 years old. He was cast in TV commercials, where his effortless charisma truly came through. People took notice of him because he was unique among the cereal salesmen. One of his earliest prominent advertisements was for Kellogg's product 19 in 1988. 2 years later, he was served a Burger King advertisement featuring Tora Birch. Along with that, he did commercials for Canon camcorders and Vivident gum. With each commercial he shot, he got more experience behind the camera and a better grasp of the company's inner workings. At the tender age of 8, he had built a solid foundation. Then in 1990, he landed his very first major TV role. He portrayed Kevin on the spin-off series, The Bradys, which was based on the Brady Bunch. At first glance, the project appeared to have good potential. With the return of characters from the original series, that middle child usually ends up being the funny one because he wants the attention. The show continued. However, it was illogical. Just 6 episodes were aired before the show was canceled. Although it fell short of his expectations, it represented a significant advancement nonetheless. His given name, Jonathan Weiss, is the one he was given at that time. He gained valuable experience working with TV veterans like Robert Reed and Florence Henderson. Despite how brief the show was, I learned a lot from it. He experienced a small taste of being a TV celebrity. Things escalated significantly after that initial incident. In 1991, he landed the role of Randy Taylor after trying out for the show Home Improvement. It became one of the most famous young stars of the decade and ran for 8 seasons due to its enormous success. Although his resemblance to Tim Allen was a factor in his casting, it was his charisma, humor, and ease of speech that won over the audience. During the show's run from 1991 to 1999, Thomas appeared in 177 episodes. As a figure, he was well liked by fans for reasons beyond his comedic timing. Randy was different from all the other show kids. About them he inquired. He disagreed with his dad's traditional views. "Come on in, everyone. Hello, I am John Baker, my new boss. My name is Vanessa, and I'm here. Salutations, I am Mike Baxter with you today. You seem familiar, dude." His exceptional intelligence and moral compass made him stand out. Because of it, he became one of the most memorable characters in the show. He put in a lot of time and effort, despite being only 10 years old. Amazingly, he was able to juggle school and filmmaking simultaneously, which must have been exhausting. That pressure would lead him to quit acting for good. The heyday of Jonathan Taylor Thomas's acting career was when he was truly a star. Bop and Tiger Beat, among others, feature him on the cover of their monthly issues. He was a major teen star in the 2000s, and his fans dubbed him JTT due to his unruly blonde hair and blue eyes. It wasn't merely their appearance, though. His knowledge was extensive. He pondered matters. In interviews, he discussed the importance of staying humble and finding positive ways to use his fame. He genuinely wished to speak his mind, not merely garner attention. His contributions to Home Improvement were far from exhaustive. He appeared in several family-friendly films, including One Man, Two Governors, and I'll Be Home for Christmas. These parts propelled him to even greater fame, but they also came at a price. Being constantly in the spotlight became too much for him. By the late 1990s, being called JT was something he disliked. Interviewers inquiring about his private life was something he disliked. The expectations placed on me as an adolescent hero became overwhelming. Juggling school and Hollywood wasn't easy. Attending and performing well in class, wasn't it? The long hours and constant anxiety made him feel nauseous. Because he suffered from migraines, he frequently filmed entire shows while enduring excruciating headaches. In a 1994 interview with People, he revealed, "I can't tell you how many shows I've done with full-blown migraine headaches." Continued he, remaining calm was becoming increasingly challenging for him. In 1998, he decided to leave home improvement. At the tender age of 17, he had already put in nearly a decade of non-stop labor. He wanted to find something new. He aspired to lead an ordinary life. Thomas believed it was the correct thing to do, even though some group members disliked his departure, and fans were surprised. Following that, he stated, "Had I stayed at the show and tried to do academically what I'm doing now, I would have died young." With that said, Jonathan Taylor Thomas played the role of young Simba in Disney's The Lion King at the tender age of 12. Randy on Home Improvement has been his role for 6 years. He played young Simba in Disney's The Lion King. His role in the new film, Wild America, will be available to watch beginning July 2nd. When he was first getting his name out there, it was as a player, Randy Taylor on Home Improvement, but it was in this role that he eventually found success, making nearly $1 billion and taking home 2 Oscars. The film was a smashing success. For Thomas, the opportunity to bring to life one of Disney's most beloved characters was more than simply a job. It took months for Disney to discover the perfect voice. Someone had to demonstrate Simba's energy, curiosity, and joy to them. Thomas was the most impressive of the many young artists who auditioned. Because of his self-assurance, Simba felt like he was interacting with a genuine human being, rather than a cartoon. His voice exuded just the perfect blend of youthful energy and attitude, making him the ideal choice. The recording of the lines took over a year. Disney had to rearrange their schedules to accommodate Thomas's home improvement schedule. On the set of the show, he had even recorded a few lines. Since he often had to perform solo, he found it helpful to imagine how the other actors would respond. On occasion, he would even paraphrase what they said. Because of this, his behavior appeared more genuine. To help artists incorporate aspects of his personality into Simba, they recorded his facial expressions and body language as well. One of the most recognizable features of Simba is his smile. The show would not have been as good without Thomas's friendship with Simba. Like his home improvement counterpart, Simba possessed courage, intelligence, and independence. With practice, he was able to pass for a regular guy in every situation, particularly when Simba reunites with Mufasa following the rush. His voice brought Simba's joy, terror, and grief to life. Thomas added a lot of dramatic depth to the cartoon, which made it stand out. A lot more than just a hit at the box office. The Lion King altered people's perspectives and ways of life. The song's powerful message about belonging and responsibility inspired millions of listeners around the world. One of the many reasons why this Disney classic remains a fan favorite is because of Thomas's voice. Because of his work with Simba, the character became more relatable and endearing. Thomas continued to do voice acting following The Lion King. In the 1996 live-action/animation film, The Adventures of Pinocchio, he portrayed the role of Pinocchio, which adapted the story. The awe and determination of a little boy who longs to mature into a man were brought to life by his voice. His talent for bringing characters to life was on full display, proving he was more than just a child star. He had cameo appearances in animated films as well. He played the role of Tyler Tucker in the TV series The Wild Thornberrys, which followed a family as they traveled the globe studying wildlife. On The Simpsons, he provided the voice for a character named Luke Stetson as a special guest. Whatever role he played, his voice brought it to life. He went on to play the part of Prince Regis in the science fiction film Through the Moist Strip. He portrayed the lovable teddy bear Tangi in the Christmas special, The Tangerine Bear. He proved his versatility as a voice actor by getting to play a variety of roles in each project.